Hi, my name is Daniel from Project Portfolio Office, and I'm here to show you how to create your schedule using PPO Scheduler, as opposed to importing a file from MSP, Excel for Mac, Google Sheets. But rest assured, I am still going to show you at the end of this video how you can import a file. So let's get started. We're going to use the scheduler. How we get there is we're going to select our MIS reporting project and go to our project view page. From here, we're going to scroll down until we see the task section. Then we're going to select actions, and we're going to view the scheduler. Off the bat, you'll note that you have a project task starting on today's date. At the top, you've got some actions. Starting from the left, you've got the ability to submit or save. You can change or navigate to another page, your project view page, your task list page, your Gantt chart. You can change the project you're working on via the project dropdown. You can also refresh your schedule. So what this will do is it will extract the latest set of tasks from your project. While working on your schedule, you can undo a change that you've made by mistake, or you can redo that change that you've undone. You can outdent and indent tasks. You can show sub-items, expanding them. You can also hide sub-items, collapsing them. You can view the critical path, what's needed to complete your project on time. You can update multiple items at a time, and you can view your scheduler in full screen mode. On the right-hand side, you've got the ability to change your zoom level to your preference. You can also change the size of the panels left and right, as well as the size of your column widths to your preference when working on your scheduler. So let's get started by adding in a few tasks using what we call the inline edit. So there's our charter, and then we want to approve the charter, and then we can deem initiating complete. Now that I've added the 4 tasks, I want to create some structure. You can use Shift or Control click to select multiple items in your scheduler. I'm going to indent them, effectively making initiating a summary task. I want to make initiating complete a milestone, so I'm going to set the duration to 0 days. Right, this means initiating complete is now shown as a milestone. There are other ways you can change the duration. As you saw, we can do it in line, so I can set that one to 5, or you can do it in the Gantt, so you can change the size of the bar, which increases the duration. Now you'll see, since adding tasks to our scheduler, we've gotten some additional actions that we can perform on each task. I can edit the task, so this will open up a modal window, allowing me to edit the name, responsibility, actual progress, the start date, the duration, as well as planned end date. And let's set that one back to 5. I can add a subtask, which will mean the task I was on becomes a summary task. Right, so you see there we've added a subtask. I can delete that same task, or I can add just a normal task underneath. Right, so let's delete that one. Right, now we've updated the duration. Now we want to create a little bit more structure in our schedule, and that is set up some predecessors. I can use the inline editing and set this predecessor to start after number 2 has finished. I can do that with the inline editing. I can also do it via the Gantt by dragging and dropping the end of one task to the start of another. Okay, now using the multiple edit function, I can set both of these tasks to have a duration of 10 days. How the multiple item update works is if you leave one of these columns or one of these fields empty, we're not going to update that task. It's only when you enter a value, so for example, duration, I can set to 10 days, will both of those tasks be updated. All right, I can then go and select single individuals for my compiling and approval of my project charter. And now we've got some structure in place. I can submit or save my changes. Changing your dates can be done by either selecting your plan start date, for example the 7th, and setting your duration like we have been doing, which will calculate the end date to be the 20th. Vice versa, you can also select the 15th as your end date, and PPO will calculate the duration of 7 days for you. Now we want to indicate that all 3 of these tasks have been completed. There are multiple ways you can do that. You can set the progress in line. You can use the Gantt to change the progress using the arrow at the bottom of the bar, or we can use the update multiple items window to set them all to 100% and submit. Right, so there's my changes in place. Now I want to report on these changes so I can navigate to my Gantt chart. You configure what your Gantt chart looks like, for example, changing widths or what columns to include, and once you're ready, you can select Export Gantt PDF. Alright, this will generate a Gantt that you can then view in your PDF viewer. Lastly, let's quickly recap how one imports a project plan, for example, an MPP file or an Excel file. So if you're not logged into your you won't be able to access the support portal. So make sure you're logged in. You can go through to the support portal, and then from there you can access resources. And then if you scroll down, you'll see task import templates. Now we've got 4 templates. The task import template is very simple. The Excel task import template allows one to do duration-driven scheduling. Then you've got a version for multiple resources. And finally, the ability to use an MSP file using that MPP task import template. So let's go over to our completed project and quickly recap how you import one of your existing files. So I'm going to go to the project view page, scroll down to tasks, and from here I'm going to select import. At the bottom here, before we select a file, you'll see that there is a PPO task field and it's mapping to your project plan field. So I'm going to go and select my file. I'm going to import, and then you'll be taken to a summary which will summarize the actions that are going to be performed by your task import. And when I click submit, my schedule is now imported into the completed project. Right, so just a reminder, if you would like to stay up to date with our latest features, navigate to go to ppo.com and select our blog under the company tab. And then from here, you can enter your email address, first name, last name, click register for the blog, and you'll stay up to date. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.